Good afternoon, folks. Well, I'm sat in my cab at a really weird angle because we're at Elmley for the white-tailed eagle, and it has been showing for about a week. I took a chance and booked to come in today, Sunday, that it would still be here, and it is. Ace. Question is, because it was bred and released on the Isle of Wight, does it make it a lifer? Can I count it as a lifer? I'm going to do it. Why not? It's out, it's hunting in the wild, it can reproduce. It's wild, apart from probably some tags on it somewhere. So anyway, what happened was the reserve opened at 11, big queue of people. Obviously, everyone knew about it and wanted to chance it was still here, but it was mentioned it was on a fence post on the marsh side. I was like praying and praying. And then I saw a big barn door of a bird in the distance and quickly shot round, found my spot, and here I am. And I've got I can't see it because my tripod, I'm trying to squeeze everything in. I want to do these updates because what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and film basically most of the day, because the one chance it probably comes all the way over here, I want to be here. Because at the moment, I'm going to overlay footage, as you're seeing, that's very heat hazy. So at the moment, what happened was it's in the distance, it's maybe 200 meters away, maybe, on a fence post, and it's about 20 degrees, a lot of heat haze. So I've just been filming it. It was eating something on the ground, pecking away at something. Fiona said it was getting rabbits. It's been mobbed by a red kite, marsh harriers. Every so often something will fly by and it will sort of swing its head up and open its beak. Nobody wants to mess with it. And crows as well. Probably some ravens will show up at some point. But it was on the ground. It moved up onto one fence post. I caught that. And again, apologies, all heat hazy. It was there for a while. I kept filming, then it hopped up to the top one. So now it's nice and visible, this big blob on top of the fence out there. Oh, flying, gotta go. Right, so I'll show you some of that footage. Just took off. It's not bad. Some of it got a bit closer and I got a little bit of better footage. It's being mobbed by 4, 5, 6, well, blimey, I'd say about 10 different birds dotted above it like flies. Incredible. So I had to angle the car for a second to get to it. And that was pretty good. Some of it was, it started making its way over to the track, which I thought great. And I angled the car. No, I wasn't blocking anybody. And then it turned around and went back again. Luckily, I've got the tripod to rest my hand on. And my 4K crop mode, again, like it's really heat hazy, the 4K crop mode is at least filling the frame more. So thank goodness for that. That's given me 2300 millimeters, like I've said before. I'm quite happy with that so far. But like I say, I'm not leaving this track, because the chances are I'll leave the track and go and do something else. And it'll be the time when it lands and eats something on the track and gives everyone a brilliant view. So for the most part, I'm here. I've got food and tea and drinks and everything. Unless I need a lure or something, I'm here most of the day and I'll bring you updates. Excellent. This is brilliant. Okay, we haven't seen the white-tailed eagle since that last point, so I'm just keeping an eye out. There are so many raptors. I'm watching a marsh harrier flying now. Yeah, I've seen dozens and dozens of raptors. What I'll do is I've seen some other bits. I might as well add those on, because I don't know if I'm going to see the white-tailed eagle later on, so I'm going to have to show you other stuff. When we got in the gate, there was a flock of juvenile goldfinch feeding on the teasels. Is it teasels? And one of them, I noticed it was on a bit of tree without any leaves on. It was trying desperately to get this fluff off of his beak. Poor thing. I filmed it moving up and it was wiping and wiping and wiping. It's kind of like the fluffy, woolly thing off the teasel plant. I'm gonna have to learn what that plant's called. But that was, that poor little thing. But they even the adults had the trouble, because I saw some adults further down having the same trouble. But this one, obviously, it was the first time it had got this much on its beak. When I got in, there were a yellow wagtail sat right next to my window on this side, on the what they call on the cab side, it's the luggage door. What else? Yeah, on the one of the barns at the front entrance, there were a couple of kestrels. I think they look juvenile to me, so probably freshly fledged from somewhere. And yeah, hanging about for, I think I saw mum or dad being chased off by a crow further into the marsh, waiting to be fed by them. I don't know how good they are at hunting just yet. And there's something on the post there. I better approach it. It's either going to be a marsh, meadow pipit or something else, but a bit distant. But there was a reed bunting on the reeds, and the couple of times I've been back to the front, it's been singing there again, a male reed bunting. Just had to drop the camera quickly. A bittern just flew across. I knew it straight away by the colour. Look at the footage, very distant. Apologies, heat haze on my 4K crop mode, but at least I've seen it. And yeah, it's flown off towards the white-tailed eagle went off towards the turbines, and so did the bittern. So obviously something's going on over there. It's obviously a nice area. And just a little add-on, I've got some okay footage of a marsh harrier being mobbed by lapwings. And all the lapwing chicks, I never got a chance to see them when they were young. So I just got a juvenile back there by the side of the track, very, very tame. But I think its parent was still calling to it, because as I filmed it for a little while, I heard the call from the parent, and it was standing still when I was filming it, and then it started walking and went through the grass. Yep, no white-tailed eagle yet, but we're having a great time, getting some really good stuff. Just coming, I think this is gate 3, marsh harrier. Came in, I filmed it for a couple of seconds before it dropped down into the reeds, and I pulled up and waited with photos because I wanted to get some close shots, and it took off. Yeah, look at some of these are really, really good. I'm happy with these. Yeah, bit of heat haze even at that closer distance, which is a bit of a shame, but it looked over. I thought it might come out with some food. Then down to the front again, checking on the white-tailed eagle location on the right, nothing, but I think it's a buzzard. I don't think it's a marsh harrier. Sometimes the plumages catch me off, especially when it's a silhouette, but it had a rabbit or leveret in its talons. And I managed to get several seconds of footage before it dropped down into the reeds to start eating it. I waited there for a while, but it didn't take off again. I thought I'd go up to the car park, and when I did, I saw swallows on one of the wires. So I quickly pulled into the car park, got out, and see if I could capture the feed where the juveniles are on a wire on a branch, and the parent comes in, and you can freeze the wings out, which I've got here in the past. But they were just preening. I think some of the parents did come in, but they fed them in midair, which is a future project of mine, to capturing a midair food pass. So what I did is I just set the camera up and filmed for a little while, a couple of the different swallows in a different angle. Some of them were facing away from me, and I was waiting for anything unusual, get some preening or fighting, and yeah, trying to make sure that the filming was done with the barn, the house, or the trees in the background, because the whiteout sky doesn't make for good video. And I had a look, the clouds had come over, so the flight shots are out of the question, but there were swallow and house martin flying around. Nothing settling on anything to get pictures of. And the clouds had gone over, so flight shots, forget it. I just thought I'd carry on. So I came out onto the path, and really, really, really nice surprise. I saw a bird. You get used to seeing when the fences have changed slightly, when there's a little blob on the top. And I thought, what's it going to be? A meadow pipit, a linnet? It was a skylark, and it was singing. So I got some video from a distance to make sure I'd nailed it. Here it is. And then I moved closer and got some even better footage. Some great frame filling stuff there. Came down to gate 3 because I saw, and I think this bird comes and lands on this post a lot, but I never managed to get near it, a meadow pipit. I filmed it in the distance to make sure I've got it logged in. And then a car went by me. I was trying to get the call of the bird because I could hear it Could see it in the video making a call, but I couldn't hear it because it was a bit too distant. And this car went by, I went, okay, it's going to scare it off. And it went right past the bird. The bird never flinched. So great. So I pulled up by gate 3 right here. So I'll just show you around. So I could fill the frame with it. And it didn't call, but I got some really frame-filling footage. And incidentally, I mean, it's a known for many birders, but if a bird kind of floofs itself up, it means it's about to fly. So if you're going for a flight shot, just remember several seconds after it does that, it's going to fly. And in this case, it did. Hey, and I think you've guessed, no more white-tailed eagle. We're not that lucky. We've done well today. It isn't over yet, so I'll just let you know we didn't see the white-tailed eagle. We went up and down, up and down. I'll let you know some other stuff. Let's go. Cattle egret. There were some cattle egret, which thankfully came out when it was cloudy, so I didn't get any burnt out highlights. Yeah, it was feeding, it's just going through the reeds and the grass and picking out loads of bugs. But yeah, relatively close. I managed to fill the frame quite well with that. Yellow wagtails on the path, this time a female, collecting grubs. And I mucked around for a while trying to sort of get alongside it. And then to the point, it just let me pull up alongside it. It was too busy getting grubs for whatever chicks it's got somewhere. The male was just up ahead too. But I've got some amazing footage from earlier of them calling, as you saw. Yeah, that was the best I've ever got. And the sound, I think the sound's pretty good. I am impressed with the microphone, the Rode microphone on my DSLR. I remember it was time to get one when I filmed that Dartford warbler, and the sound was ruined by wind, so I knew I had to start getting my sound sorted out. And the wrens have been okay. I mean, one jumped up on one of the barns at the car park and gave a couple of its calls. I was being blown around by the wind, but this came out okay. And one outside the main entrance, just as I left, started doing its little alarm call on one of the small branches on a bush. And I passed gate 3 again, just grabbed some more footage of the meadow pipit, grabbing lots and lots of bugs. I'd love to know where its nest is, but there's always something on that gate. But birds always seem to land on that fence and that gate there. I don't know what it is. You get yellow wags on there, meadow pipits, buzzards sometimes, kestrels absolutely for sure. I've got some absolute close-up shots of the kestrel. And you know what, that's weird. What happened to them? Last year they were on that gate post a lot. You could just drive straight by it. Weird. They were good in the winter. They've been a bit quiet recently. And just throw in some reed bunting call. It was a bit distant, but it's a lot clearer than the one I had earlier. And the hares were really good. Got a really big one come out. And yeah, I mean, it sort of jumped a little bit when I first stopped, but it was perfect lighting because the clouds were just diffusing the light beautifully. And I just filmed it full on headshot. I didn't want to go back too far, so I went straight into the head and just watched it. And I'm going to see all that lovely detail when I get it up on the 4K screen. It's such a difference. If you can, folks, really, I've done everything. All the footage is in 4K. And it looks good on the phone, looks good on the computer, but when you get it up on a TV screen, a big one, 40 plus inches, it's stunning. Even I go, well, I didn't know my camera was that good. I mean, it is broadcast quality. Again, when I'm editing it, I have to use a slightly lower resolution. Otherwise, the computer can't handle it, editing it in real time. So it's not good quality. And then when I put it up, I say to my wife, I'm just going to put this up and see how this looks. And I'm like, just my jaw is on the floor, how good the footage looks. A little rabbit too ran across the path and sort of looked at me, and I looked at it, and I couldn't get any closer. I filmed from a distance. This is what usually happens when you see footage like this. I get this first and then I move closer. I used to just try and get as close as I could, and I'd miss a lot. So yeah, this is the distance I could get to it. The hares are a lot more easy going with me getting them in the frame and getting closer to them. And then I've just come to Hearty Ferry. I've seen a couple of bits, kestrel, low marsh harrier, and a corn bunting was calling, but I couldn't get it. But I'll just throw over the footage now. I was hoping it might be a hen harrier or something, a bit too big, but because of all the pattern on the face, I thought maybe, but it was too high up, I think, and too big. And it was a buzzard. I haven't had much luck with buzzards. They all seem to be on the outside of the. It's like the marsh harriers tell them, you stay out on that side. We've got the inside of the reserve. You can stay out on the road. So all the buzzards are out there. So I filmed it in. I went for the 120 frames per second, which is only HD. It'll still look good. I managed to hold it quite steady and keep it in the frame. And what I love is, if you're obviously seeing this, is that it just keeps getting mobbed by lapwing. And usually, especially marsh harriers, they will flick and turn and all kinds of stuff when they get mobbed. And this common buzzard was like, do what you want. I'm not moving. I'm not changing the way I fly. I'm not flicking my wings. Bothered face, bothered, not bothered. Oh, good stuff. It was brilliant. Yeah, it just circled me. As you can see, it's circling around the cab. And yeah, it's a bit of a backlit, but still came out really, really nice. It looks good in the viewfinder. I can't wait to see it on the 4K screen. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh yeah, there was a lighter morph one just before I left Elmley, and because it was from 4K crop, so I was quite a distance away. But because, like I said, the clouds had come out, a lot of the heat haze, and this time of night it's got a lot colder. The heat haze wasn't too bad, and it looks pretty crisp. This morph one does hang around the gate end of the reserve. You never really see it up the other end. They all have their sort of territories. Yep, I think we're done for the day, folks. Nothing much else. I mean, there was little bits and pieces. I'll do a roundup. Kez on one of the Telegraph posts back there. And when I came back round, it was down on the ground, picking away at this dead partridge. And this partridge hummed. Why? I was 20 feet away and I could smell it. So maybe the kestrel stomach acid will take care of that. And then round the bit further on, there was a buzzard. I saw it before I got round this tree line. So I got ready, I set myself up and it didn't fly off. And I actually snuck out this side of the cab and filmed through the window. I set the tripod up and I'll have to go through. There's about 3 minutes of footage. I'm overlaying it now. Anything that I got that's stable, because the wind was sort of hitting it every now and again. And the heat haze was mucking around with the focus. I could just about see the focus going in and out, but it was a lovely coloured, lighter buzzard. And further round, a chaffinch gave me a little blast of its song. Back of the Raptor Centre, a linnet was singing above my head. I wasn't seeing many red-legged partridges. I was wondering what happened to them, and then I started seeing them everywhere. They must all come out at this time of night. I saw them hanging with some mallards round by the pub, and then I saw them running through various fields around here, and I almost ran over 2 of them. Other than that, I've just been mucking around with slow-mo, the 120 frames a second. So here's some little egret. There's 2 or 3 floating around in this horse paddock, and hoping for some more cattle egret, but they're all little egret. Panicked me a couple of times. I thought maybe a owl, but not today, because this is an area I've seen a barn owl. I was hoping maybe we get 1 owl today, but not to be. There you go. And also throwing in some marsh harrier for just slow-mo footage of marsh harriers. Bits and pieces, hoping for a hen harrier, not today. I'm not complaining about today. There's been lots and lots and lots to see. Yeah, I think we'll start heading off now. The sun's still half an hour from going down, but yeah, I don't like this bit of the island in the dark because there are no street lights. So I want to get across the island of Sheppey while there's still some light. Okay, happy hunting, folks. See you next time.